Hey, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever felt like you're constantly running a race that never seems to end, always trying to keep up with expectations that aren't even yours? There was a boy who spent most of his childhood trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, measuring his worth by the opinions of others. Every decision he made was weighed against the invisible standards set by his peers. In school, he'd glance around the classroom, constantly wondering if he was smart enough, funny enough, or even just good enough. No matter how hard he tried, it felt like he was always one step behind. One afternoon, while sitting in a quiet cafe, he overheard two older men talking. One of them chuckled and said, "You know, I spent so many years trying to fit in, and in the end I realized no one really cared." That sentence hit him like a bolt of lightning, not because people were unkind, but because they were too busy dealing with their own worries. For the first time, he sat alone in his room and asked himself, who am I when no one is watching? What do I truly want? Most people live their lives as a reflection of others. They scroll through social media, comparing their ordinary moments to someone else's highlight reel, believing they are falling behind. They see success in others and suddenly feel like their own journey isn't enough. But in reality, the more time you spend watching others, the less energy you have to invest in yourself. The most successful people in the world don't waste time worrying about what everyone else is doing. They wake up every morning, not to impress, not to compete, but to grow. They know that their only true competition is the person they were yesterday. Imagine a man planting a tree. He doesn't dig up the soil every day to see if the roots are growing. He waters it, gives it sunlight, and trusts the process. But if he kept looking at other people's trees, comparing their height and doubting his own, he'd neglect his own growth. That's what most people do in life. They focus so much on others that they forget to nurture themselves. There was once a runner training for a marathon. Every morning she woke up before sunrise, laced up her shoes, and ran. At first, she felt like she wasn't good enough. She would watch other runners, comparing their speed, their endurance, their progress. She doubted herself. But one day, she stopped looking around. She focused on her own breathing, her own rhythm, her own journey. She ran, not to be faster than someone else, but to be stronger than she was yesterday. And when the marathon finally arrived, she crossed the finish line, not first, not last, but as someone who had conquered herself. This is what happens when you stop seeking validation and start focusing on your own growth. The most meaningful progress happens in silence. The strongest transformations happen when no one is watching. True confidence isn't built by chasing approval. It comes from discipline, consistency, and the courage to walk your own path. Think about the last time you doubted yourself because of someone else's success. Maybe a friend got a promotion or a stranger online seemed to be living the life you wanted. Did comparing yourself help? Or did it just drain your energy and make you feel unworthy? The truth is, success isn't a limited resource. Just because someone else is thriving doesn't mean there's less space for you. Their achievements don't take away from your own potential. The only person you need to surpass is the one you were yesterday. When you pour your energy into yourself, something incredible happens. You start to see real progress. You discover strengths you never knew you had. You become someone who inspires others, not because you were trying to impress, but because you became the best version of yourself. Think of a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. Each day he removes a little more, refining, shaping, creating. If he constantly compared his work to others, he'd never finish. But by staying focused on his own craft, he brings something truly unique into the world. That's what life is about, chiseling away distractions and carving yourself into the person you were meant to be. So ask yourself, what would happen if starting today, you stopped looking at others and started investing in yourself? What if every morning you asked, how can I be better than I was yesterday? Instead of, what is everyone else doing? The moment you shift your focus inward, everything changes. Your confidence grows. Your skills sharpen. Your path becomes clearer. The outside noise fades, and for the first time, you realize you were never meant to be like anyone else. You were meant to be you. And that is the most powerful thing you can ever be.